Hey everyone, I figure I need to make this video now because I've been at my desk since maybe just after 12 and I am very much struggling to take anything in. Oh, these people won't stop ringing me. Right, it is Monday the 16th of January 2023. Wow, it's 4:38 in the afternoon. So this morning went well. I actually woke before my alarm, but I did what I always do, and I did definitely cuddle balls in between the alarms I'd set for snoozing, though I got up at the latest time that I had planned to, so that was awesome. Win for me. I've got to remember to teach all of you what I do for me and the other storytelling job. Pat on the back. South High Five. That one's from Barney at How I Met Your Mother. Right. I really need to remember that, come to think of it, because I haven't thought of that in a little while. So anyway, I had only had the two, okay, I'm going to just quickly put, side note, I'm very aware that I need to get a microphone because even I struggle to hear me at sometimes. And because I have the second screen and this like fucking wire, that cord thing, my computer is a lot further back than it normally would be and on a much more different angle. Right, so I got to remember to talk louder is what I'm trying to remind myself while I'm saying it all to you. Fucking turn my fan off and I close the window and it's like now obviously getting hotter. Currently it's 24 degrees apparently, and it's going to increase. Oh, wonderful. Right, where am I at? I had the appointment this morning, and I'd only done like 2 phone calls, and I'm so much that person who calls like multiple people. But the person who answered the phone the second time was so fucking amazing that I decided just to go with her based on that, right? Anyway, I checked it this morning to remind myself of the woman's name because I was pretty sure I knew it, but I wanted to make sure, yeah? And when I did it, I obviously fucked up somehow because I had the first one written and then the second one written, which I was going to the second one, and I had put the address into my GPS straight from the message that sent me, reminding me that I needed to confirm or cancel. And yet, for some reason, I was driving there and I was following the GPS, and then I went past this particular place and I was like, shit, that's it, that's the one. And then I fucking myself like one of those erratic drivers. Everything was safe, I will stress and just say. I slowed down and made it quite clear I needed to change lanes, which was fine, and then did a U-turn and went back. The thing is, though, I went in and I was like, oh, I was expecting to see, particular woman. And this man is looking at me and he's like, there's nobody here by that name. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm at the right place. Gave him my details. And he's looking at me and I'm like, is this such and such? And he's like, no. And I'm like, damn it. So I'd inadvertently gone to the first place I'd called because the big sign on the road confused me. Yeah. Anyway, I eventually got there and was on time. Awesome. Was very, very happy with the service. Absolutely will be starting hydrotherapy ASAP. I'm also going to be starting the Pilates that you do with the machine. I said to the person today, I was like, honestly, I don't really fully understand all the differences between like physio and chiro and osteo and whatever, yeah? I was like, what I do know is that I live in excruciating pain and I need to invest money in me. because it's become quite apparent to me. Obviously, I make these videos to learn about myself. I bring you all along with me because, if nothing else, well, you probably get a laugh, like, you know, even on my worst days. But let me think. Right. So I watched the video of my doctor's appointment back, right? As I will continue to keep saying, I do not watch my videos before I upload them, okay? I don't have any other explanation for why that is, except that I know it's what I'm supposed to do. I am who I am, and I am good enough. Even on my worst fucking day, when the voices in my head are doing everything they fucking possibly can to try and hurt me, I hold myself accountable by sharing my life, yeah? I spend almost all of my time alone, yeah? And when you really start thinking about that, you know, like think about prisoners in the hole and whatnot. People talk about people going crazy. I don't believe I'm going crazy. I think I'm getting more sane each day, truthfully. But I make these videos the way that I do, and I upload them without watching them. And I'm just going to keep doing it. Let's just keep saying that. Right. What am I trying to say though? So, I am going to be filming as much of my life as I possibly can. There are things that I wish I could film, like this morning, but because of the type of like actual what's happening in the video, there's no way to do it without editing it, because the person would need to be edited out. And that's just not something that's ever going to happen, because I don't want to learn how to do that, truth be told, or relearn how to do that, because I have actually done a fucking journalism class at university, which I did not like. Anyway, back to where the fuck I was at. So, I watched my doctor's video back, and I couldn't help but notice a few things. And I don't know, it was just all this stuff coming together, and I was feeling just out of it, excruciating pain, short of breath, lightheaded, dizzy, feeling like I was going to fall over, just all this stuff, yeah? And so I figured I might Google the medication I'm prescribed, yeah? And I'm talking about Targen. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically oxy with a built-in laxative, yeah? And I have been getting it prescribed now since 2021, up to the dose of 40 milligrams, yeah? So I've been saying for a long time that I never want to become reliant on this medication, yeah? Like, I don't want an addiction. I went through my addiction period. I've done that. I've learnt my lessons, which I think is actually helping me in this scenario, because upon reading the side effects of this medication, it became quite apparent that that is probably contributing to a lot of how I'm feeling. And I've never felt that short of breath before, or like I was going to fall over, the amount of times I was. And it was just like, holy fuck, Liv, yeah? And then again, like I've been saying the last couple of days, I just stopped. Like, I just thought, I'm not taking it. And at the time, I'm pretty sure I've said it in the last couple of videos, I'm like, I'm not even totally sure what or why I'm doing this. But it hit me today, like really hit me full front smack in the face, yeah, that I don't want to take it anymore. That I am 37, and 37 is fucking young as hell. Like, we all like, we're getting, people live so much longer these days, and for people to honestly think like being in your 30s, being in your 40s makes you old, I think we really need to start re-looking at that. Yeah, 37 is young, and I absolutely do not want to be reliant on pain medication to function in this world. Now, like I said, I just stopped abruptly. Please do not do any of what I do. Yes, this is a disclaimer. I do not, like, I'm not responsible for what anyone does. I'm just sharing my story, but please always seek medical advice. Yes? Good. But I think today is day 3 or day 4 without it. Definitely explains why I've been feeling like not like myself. But as you'll know if you've been following me along, right? I live in excruciating pain. Yes. I am prescribed legal cannabis. Somehow, I think in my mind, I got all muddled up because I started using the Targen more regularly and then stopped using the cannabis, which makes no sense. No sense at all, because I'm the biggest advocate for marijuana. Hi, Abel, there in Sweden. I know how you feel about it. We're going to agree to disagree, all right? But I've realized if I start using the oils and the vape the way I'm supposed to, and stop letting whatever this inner part of me is that makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong, when I'm fucking not, letting all of that go, I think I'll be okay. I know I'll be okay. But in the meantime, I'm dealing with, as usual, fucking pretty severe pain right now, yeah? So, like, I did go to the physio. I'm all muddled up. I've been given, and when I say muddled up, if you're new, it's like nothing matches, my back's out of whack, everything's just, my 3D human self is broken in so many ways. But, you know, like I continue to say, I'm broken in the amount of ways that I am, so I can relate to the amount of people I can. That is how I choose to look at life, because I have to. Though I think I forget some of this when I've been sitting at my desk for 4 hours doing statistics and being like, oh my fucking God, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Because that's been me this afternoon. Actually, I think I'm feeling more calm. Yeah, definitely more calm from talking. Like yesterday, I cried to my camera and I felt better afterwards. Crying is a good thing, just so we're all on the same page. Doesn't matter what gender, doesn't matter what, there's none of this fucking, you know, you can't cry, that makes you weak bullshit, yeah? Crying is fine. It's good. It's actually good for you, yeah? We've all got the inner critic. I talk about mine because, well, I live with a lot of mental illnesses, so mine's pretty difficult. And by sharing about it, like I said, if you learn something from watching my videos, that's awesome. If I help you in any single possible way by having random conversations to my camera and then sharing them with you, that's what I'm doing. That's my purpose. That's why I'm here. That's why I make the videos the way I do. I share everything in my life. I share literally everything. There's nothing I can think of. If someone was to ask me, you know, have you got one thing that you've never told someone? No, I don't think so. I literally cannot think of one single fucking thing that I haven't told at least somebody. So I think that says it all. I am finding the vape good, but I wanted to experiment with the THC oil because I still don't know how many mils I need to take for it to kick in, and there are so many variables at play, yeah? So I went to the physio, we did all of that. I've got some exercises to start with. I'm booked in again for next Monday, like I said, to do the Pilates with the machine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start hydrotherapy on Wednesday. What am I trying to say? But I got home at just before 12 and put the stuff away, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take, and again, I have no fucking idea how to, I had to ask someone, how do I even write this? Because I'm doing statistics and I'm so bloody confused. I was like, my syringe thing for the oil, excuse me, is 1 ml, yeah? And I'm trying to gauge, because I know that I'm trying to figure out the exact amount to take, yeah? So at 12 p.m. today, I took, what did we figure it out to be? I think it's like 0.15, so halfway between 0.1 and 0.2. And I waited almost as long as I possibly could. I got pretty close to 2 p.m. I think it was like 1:47-ish. And I was just like, I'm in way fucking too much pain to wait for this any longer to kick in, yeah? And so I vaped, because obviously if I'm vaping and I'm using the oil, there's no way for me to know when the oil kicks in, right? But I've been at my desk, yeah. Now, I truly am fucking enjoying this unit. This is fun. I loved maths when I was a kid. I loved it. Numbers, it's formulas. It's easy. If you remember how to do the formulas, there's no guesswork in numbers. Well, actually, I say that, and I'm doing regression this week, and it's literally a formula used to predict a variable based on another. So I take that first part back. Mostly it's not guesswork. And I'm just saying that because it's like the lecturer has said that multiple times, right? So you can see what I'm probably doing. Obviously, I am in radiating pain. And by now, in all fairness, since watching the videos back, really going within and checking in on myself, I can probably say, as much as I wish I didn't, that if it was this time last week and I felt like this, there's a good chance I may have had 40 to 60 milligrams of Targen by now in a day. So it's no wonder why I've been feeling like shit. So I am, like I've said, decided to, and it only hit me today, that I did not work my fucking ass off to get off ice solely to become dependent on oxy, yeah? Opium-based medication. I don't want that. Weed is my friend. Weed is natural. Weed is keeping me sane right now. I'm still dealing with the shortness of breath. I'm still dealing with the lightheadedness. Again, more variables are in play as well. The Ritalin, I've reduced to 4 because the doctors prescribe this medication, but they say themselves, you have to figure out how it works best for you. It's a lot of trial and error. Very difficult to do when you live with excruciating pain and the mental illnesses and the everything on top of each other, and trying to do uni as well, right? So that kind of explains yesterday. I've just got so much going on. And the last 2 days, I didn't even vape weed. I took nothing, right? I think I took some Nurofen, and that was it, right? Yeah. And I don't know, I just decided that, like I've said, that I needed to figure it out. And that is what I'm doing. But the oil, I feel like I can only figure that out on days when I absolutely am not leaving my house, because I'm going to have to take, say, for example, 0.2, which I'm pretty sure is how much I took when it kicked in when I was out the back. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd forgotten I'd taken the oil. I went out to the back of my shed and then had a fucking panic attack thinking the Australian poisonous creatures were all going to kill me. I will find that one and put a note for it. Actually, I didn't make a video during that because of how badly a panic attack I actually ended up having. Anyway, just weird because I don't feel like I can breathe properly. I feel fat and bloated and yucky, but you know, life goes on, I guess. I'm doing the best I can. I'm actually fucking incredibly proud of myself that I've been able to look within and take notice of this and go, okay, I need to fix this, and then fix it. It's gonna get hard. I know this. The pain levels I live with are excruciating. I have spent like 10 years more looking for the right pain specialist, the right doctor, to get the medication that I knew and know would help me. And I truly remember making many videos where I have said I'm not going to allow myself to become dependent on it, and I just think that I inadvertently did it by mistake. So now I'm waiting for it to leave my fucking system. And I still have some, and I've got the scripts from that doctor's appointment, which I just left on file at the pharmacist, and we had a good conversation, and I was like, you know, I've looked into it, this is what I'm experiencing, blah blah blah, and she's like, yeah, this shit's like bad. She's like, you don't want to be taking this, and I'm like, yes, I'm starting to see this, yeah. But it does mean, again, I'm back to trial and error. So I've changed my Ritalin from 2 in the morning to 1 in the morning. I had planned, and it again depends on what time I take the morning meds, to separate the 4 completely out, with the last one being taken at 4. So whatever time I get up, the M1 at 4, and then I'll just work out the hours in between, yeah, for the other 2. This is what I have done today. So far, so good. But on saying that, like I've said, I have been at my desk since just after 12. And I've managed to get through the week 7 content, the class recording. Now, mind you, week 7 is the one that ended right before break. Well, the next part of my assignment is on. Week 8 was last week, and today is the start of week 9. So that's where I'm at. I am having to continually remind myself that 50 is a pass, that I'm doing my absolute fucking best given the circumstances, especially since I've decided to add on top of everything else the removal of my pain meds. I also realized something yesterday too, which is, how the hell am I supposed to help other people truly believe and understand that their best is all that matters if I constantly put this bullshit on me? If I get 55, for example, and that is my absolute best, then that's an absolute fucking fantastic grade. And that is what I would say to anybody. Yet the inner critic in my head is like, you can say all the things that you'd like to, makes no difference, Liv. If you don't get 70 and above, you failed. So yeah, I'm becoming like super heightenedly aware of even more and more things. Like, I've been through everything I've been through to help other people not live in the fucking darkness. like I have for so long. And I'm definitely seeing so many things, just like I said, continuously new perspectives at every angle was coming. Ugh. But this is where I'm at with uni, okay? If you're still watching along at 25 minutes and 21 seconds, I think you're amazing for starters and very grateful, so awesome. But this is where I've gotten to the point I think I'm at with uni. Let me see. Sometimes I have these amazing points, and then by the time I say something very small like that, the point is gone. Right. Based on the fact that the big assignment is worth 50% and the quizzes are worth 15%, right? If I can do the absolute best on them, right? And I will do whatever I can and then book a tutoring session. I mean, there's a potential for any student to pass the unit without even doing the exam, right? Now, I've never been a student, nor will I ever be one, who just doesn't do an assignment or sit an exam because they've already passed a unit. I've never really fully gotten my head around that. But again, people like Randy, he did a 3-year degree in 2. And he just wanted his degree. So I know there are students that are like that. But I think the reason my head's all stressed out is because the exam is the 14th of Feb. Today is the 16th of January. Like I said, I have to get through all these weeks worth of work to do the assignment, but I also have to do the quiz. The group chat has gone off about this quiz being really fucking hard, which is not helping, because it involves information from last year. So I barely got through it last year to get the first part of my assignment in, and now it's like, oh my god, I'm going to have to catch up as fast as I can because the quiz shuts on Sunday at 8 p.m. It absolutely has to be done by then. And right now, I do not even feel comfortable doing the practice exam, right? So, I guess today for me has been about being heightenedly aware of the fact that I need to continue being nicer to myself, extra nicer, extra calm, extra loving to me as my pain levels increase, which, as I'm saying that, I could say in a statistic way is a positive correlation, because I did learn that and I know what that means. Thankfully, this week regression is a add-on to correlations. It's all there, but I've just always been like I've said, it took years to find a doctor and a pain specialist to give me what I knew I'd need. And yeah, fuck, right? Like I've said, today's either 4 or 5. I don't really totally remember. Where I haven't had it. And not only haven't had it, I've gone from whatever the amounts I was taking to nothing. And the fucking pain is bad. It's really, really, really bad. I would like to take my dog for a walk. I haven't taken him in the last couple of days. It is going to be a fucking nightmare heat-wise tomorrow. Let's see, because it's like, thunderstorms and 35. So muggy, I'm guessing. But just sitting here and talking to all of you is causing me more pain than I really want to think about, which is probably why I am really, really struggling to focus. But I feel like sitting here and watching it and taking something in is still better than doing nothing, because I am focused. I did take my last Ritalin at 4 o'clock. And yeah, like I've said, I'm just using the vape. I'll have to practice the oil, I think, because I need to go out tomorrow, get like magnesium cream and more magnesium meds and food, something to eat throughout the day, because it's still that fucking fine line of really struggling to eat because it's the lack of appetite, which obviously doesn't help my lightheadedness and everything. But yeah, anyway, I have talked for 30 minutes, 22 seconds, and if you're still watching, you are awesome. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so and follow me at my website, lifesastory.blog. I link it in the description. Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Bye.